hard, but it's easy. Basically, it's whatever the other player says, you manifest. You make it real. You don't disagree with them. You don't go, not really, I don't want to do that beat. You do that beat. Now, if you got problems with that beat, talk to them after the show. But it looks very natural. It comes out of, it seemingly comes out of nowhere. But it's coming out of actually what the audience can see is real. But that guy does have that demeanor, right? That one. And that's the board, it's the location. You don't have to service the location in this sense. Everybody, not everybody, but most of us have been to a police station. Are we policemen? No. Have plumbers been to a police station? Yeah. Has, teachers been to a police station? Yeah. So you want your abstract not to reflect the location, but to reflect the abstract. So now we have two border guards. Right now you're outside the police station. They put you outside. You don't know why, but obviously it's because you guys are idiots. But you have that attitude that somebody's working against me. Well, it turns out that you guys are working against each other. So it's a fun scene. Now let's talk about location on stage. What's the tone of a scene where people are that close to each other? There's an intimacy, right? I don't care if you guys are screaming in each other's face, like the Full Metal Jacket. It suggests intimacy. Isn't it? That's that. So just know that that's geographically, that's what it does. So you can manipulate space to your needs. Let's say the scene before was very wild people running around. When you come out this time, you can just land, in the middle of the stage because you want a different tone. Also, the engagement with the audience in a scene like this is powerful. They want to see you engaged, not what you invent, but they want to see you engage. And most of the improv we see is people fighting. They're trying to find some sort of difference or conflict or whatever. That's the same thing over and over and over. These guys did not have a conflict. They had suspicions. They were fighting yes, no, black, white. That doesn't happen even in films and storytelling. The best villains are people that you kind of understand. Darth Vader's pretty cool. Not in all the films. Once they took his mask off. It's terrible. It should have been James Earl Jones, don't you think?
Yeah.
We're using his voice. Why not Darth Vader be that?
Or the Green Cross Code man.
What's that?
Very tall chap they used as the body double.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know his name, but he's got West Country accent.
Yeah, the guy they used looked like the guy from MASH.
Weird.
Yeah. But the other thing is, Darth Vader does not perceive himself as evil. Like in further movies, because they're taking the shortcut. He perceives himself as somebody who's a realist. This is what we need to do in this universe. Let me take care of this. You wussy liberals. So that and when you can see that in a character, or the Hannibal Lecter character, it's very entertaining and very engaging. It might shoot your nose off in any second, but he's rational in his discussions. He's very erudite. So because of that kind of confusion, because we're not making him a stereotype, we engage fully. Because we can recognize some of ourselves, some of someone we know. So unless it's a genre like action where you have to show how terrible the guy is at the beginning, he has to do something real awful at the beginning so that we'll stay the rest of the film to make sure that he gets his ass kicked later. But we'll beat the hero's ass a lot. Where we're going. So the audience goes, well, he's not going to make it. He's not going to make it. What's he doing? He's cutting his feet. He's running in glass. You idiot. No, so we have that thing until you finally push, the guy goes out the window. Right? Again, glass, right? Glass. These are things that's what storytelling is about those reference points that are referencing someone else, re-referencing the thing, re-referencing it in another sense. What are the props that we use? How do they reference security? How do they reference that? So we can't do that. We can't plot out our scene, but we can drop arbitrarily references all over the long form. That's what brings the long form together. Not with a story, doing references. So if somebody moves like this in the first scene, they're at a bar, let's say, and they create an L-shaped bar, and there's a bartender, and he puts out the drinks. We saw that in the first scene. Maybe in the third set of scenes in the long form, somebody else in a different location, they're in the Old West. They do the pattern. It's not a bar, they just do the pattern. And whatever it is, maybe it's getting a horse out of a stable. But unconsciously, what it does, it brings the audience back to that first scene and makes it seem like these scenes link together. They will, because we are pattern recognition machines. At some point, we're going to go, I get it. And then you're going to exploit that thing of convergent thinking. I get what everything is about. Not because you came up with it, because people were doing the thing of just dropping references all over, saying the same line that someone said in a different way. Someone says in an early scene, can you just please take out the garbage? And then later on it's said by someone else, can you take out the garbage? It might refer now to an execution or something, or mobs. Just take out the garbage. But the person was a wife saying that to her husband. You just re-reference these things. And that's the power, the gestalt that you create, that you can improvise story by not telling story. Okay, and the story emerges. You make the discoveries that you guys are interested. All right, so you're suspicious of them because they're putting you out there, and now you got the handcuff thing. You locked yourself in it. And this guy, to show you that he's got his back, locks himself in it. Right? He said that, so he has to demonstrate it. So you're locked together, and it's curiosity or suspicion. And he does the key, it doesn't work. And you go, is that the right key? I don't really know. And then you say, we don't want anyone to see us, so you manifest that by trying to hide it. And that gives you this thing where you kind of look like border guards, right? But you're handcuffed together. All right, good. So I took a lot of time on that scene because I want you to see how you play moment to moment without invention, by just saying what you see. Let's get 2 more people up. Where are we time-wise?
1:30 we'll break for lunch.
Okay, good. And how far away are we from that?
An hour.
Oh, good. We're been fine. Okay, good. So who has not been up on stage at all? For a while? Okay, come on. Who else? Okay. That's what I like to do. I always have it in my pocket before I go on stage. Just do for now. We'll add people in the next harvest. Okay, so you're going to be way over here, and you can go up this way, down this way, but you can't go in there. Okay? You're going to be over here with this painting of in the boxes. Right? So you're going to walk. You're able to walk, play kinesthetically up through here, but you can't go in. Right? So and always the engagement starts physically. Always starts physically. Not by saying, here's a where, guess what it is. It starts with this engagement. It's all discovery. That's Viola's thing. It's all discovery. So you play kinesthetically. And now the way to get movement out of kinesthetic is to put yourself slightly off balance in each of these moves. voice a little bit. Share your voice a little bit.
You look nervous.
And respond honestly. No story, just honest.
You look,
No, you don't have to read it, just respond honestly to that observation.
I am nervous, or what am I
She
saying?
said you look nervous, so how do you respond to that? Honestly.
I'm thinking.
Good. So define thinking.
Thinking.
No, not you.
Oh,
She.
sorry.
So you always get the other thing from the other player. It's always that call and response. I say that I'm thinking, she tells us what thinking means to her. I would give you a dictionary, and it said thinking. What would it say next?
You're trying to figure something out.
Yeah, yes, of course. You're right. I didn't know what it meant, but now I do.
Yeah, I've been stuck.
So now look at this place, and this is a place where people go to figure things out. And that's what you label now, the location. You don't make anything in it, she will make it what's in the location. But just, that, if I gave you a postcard, and the postcard said, it's a picture of a place, a building, someplace, something, and it says this is a place where people figure things out. Where is it?
In my head.
All right. So manifest being inside her head. Reach up, it's right there. Just reach up. Put your hand up. Don't wait to know what it is. What's inside her head? Is it gray matter? Huh?
Thoughts?
Okay, you can do that. Boy, we're going down the abstract road. But that's okay. So just how would you show us that this is a thought? Reach your hand up and bring that thought. And what kind of thought does a nervous person have? Are you nervous right now?
Yeah.
What do you think? What's one of your thoughts?
If I'm doing something wrong.
Okay, that's it. Of course it is.
I see.
Yeah, just say it out loud so that she knows that you're manifesting her thought.
I'm scared of doing something wrong.
Now, she's manifested that, and now you, the other, she said the location, you manifested that, and now you tell her who she is in relationship to you. Your relationship is a nervous relationship, but you're inside her head. Who are you to each other? Are you an emotion? Are you another personality? Are you the crazy part of her? Or the confident part of her? Or whatever. Something that would make her, your relationship, nervous. You want us to give you one?
Yeah.
You are her conscience. The one that goes, that has the right and wrong part. Because you already do it. Just let her know that you're her conscience.
I'm your conscience.
Now, the rest of the scene you play it, and everything you hear is about being nervous.
Can you answer a question for me?
Yes.
So I should just do what I feel.
If you feel it's right.
Then there's a problem.
Read your conscience's demeanor. What does she look like to you? What does Trish look like? Her arms are folded. What does she look like? What's her demeanor?
Not happy with me?
Make it a
You're not
statement.
happy? You're
Make
not
it a-
happy with me?
Huh?
You're
Yeah,
not
make
happy
it a
with me?
statement, yes.
I wish that you trusted yourself.
Thank you for that piece of advice. And
It's about being nervous. It's all about nervousness. So she's telling you to trust yourself. What makes you nervous about that? In your life. The thing is, the audience isn't going to know it's your life. But what makes you nervous about not trusting yourself or trusting yourself? What makes you nervous about trusting yourself?
knowing the facts, so once I know the facts, then I can trust myself.
What's she trying to tell you? She's telling you something about her character, that she has to know the facts before she with confidence. So that's what she's telling you, actually. So just, for now, I'm throwing stuff in. I don't want to do that, but I will, and then you'll get it. So it's just about telling the truth. So if she says that she's nervous about doing stuff without knowing the facts, that's what she's telling you. So in some fashion, tell her that that's what you heard. So what you're saying is,
So what you're saying is that you need logic.
Yes, that's exactly right. I need the logic. And then I feel in control of what my decision will be.
look around, you see logic anywhere in the room? Is logic present in their head? Well, a random thought just went by.
That one was self-loathing. It came back.
Okay, I'm going to try this a little bit differently. Does she look confident?
No.
Okay, tell your conscience.
Okay. Conscience, you don't look confident in what I'm telling you.
It's another random thought.
That one was an emotion.
There he goes. She's not in control of her brain at all. So the thought went through your head and took her sandals.
Conscious, you started this.
Here, there is no logic. You need to follow your heart.
Thank you.
Now talk about how you get nervous. You, when you follow your heart, what's happened? In a general way, you don't have to tell us about anyone specific, although that'd be fun. What makes you nervous about following your heart? Who's the worst guy you ever dated?
Yeah, I pretty much dated the same person for 25 years or something, so.
Got to marry him one day
I
then.
did, I married him, it's okay. Yeah, so just a fear of, I guess, following my heart. The logic and the heart have fight, and it's more about the practical nature of what your heart might tell you. So it's yeah, it's just more about life and being able to look after family and live your life. If you follow your heart, not your head.
So what you telling me? Another random thought.
So you're telling me that you're scared to lose all those things if you follow your heart?
Not lose them, but not be able to look after them.
Maybe it's not your responsibility to look after them.
You're probably correct.
But that makes you nervous.
Yes.
Just stop that, okay? All your instincts are
That was a good count. I liked your headspace. It was great.
Come on. All your instincts are right on, spot on. Could not be more clean and clear. So whatever that is that stopping you, that you might make a mistake, then own that too. So your character of the conscience is, look, think about a conscience that was always afraid it's going to make a mistake. Right? You know, I don't know what I'm doing as a conscience. I'm constantly thinking that what I'm telling you is bullshit. That I'm making it up as I go along. It's all these beatitudes, stuff that you put on your refrigerator. That's what comes out of me. Affirmations. I don't even know if they work. I'm just a conscience. Right? So to just that honest thing, express that frustration, that fear, the real stuff that's happening. Audience will fucking, audience will really howl. And it just would go fast. The only thing would go faster if you just let it. If you just let it.
Wouldn't that improve if that sort of walk too much?
Maybe at the end of the scene. But here's what happens. What are you guys seeing in here?
Void.
A lot of times-
What?
I see a lot of tension just because they're so far apart.
That's what the geography of that position on stage is. There's distance. What are you seeing in her brain?
There's a disconnect between the brain and the
Yeah.
conscience.
Yeah. And it might be a physical disconnect that you're nervous about. You know, your frontal lobe doesn't seem to be connected here. Everything's coming from the, what's that part of the brain?
Amygdala.
Back brain.
What's that? Yeah.
Don't go brain.
Flight or fight. And then think about the context of the scene. That's where that character is, in that, the fight or flight place. So for you, it's just that thing of, you don't have to find it in your head. It's all here. That becomes the simple part of it. But we don't believe that. We believe we've got to come up with it. And all we have to do is say what we see and start playing with that. It doesn't mean that you robotically play, because you have further thoughts about this stuff. It's just a matter of you sharing it.
Can you repeat that, Jeff?
Hmm.
What you just said?
I don't know.
Can I ask something? Yeah, I will try. There were, for both the scenes, you established the emotion, curiosity, and then nervousness based on the first interaction. First, and that is established.
So you don't waste anything. You don't search for scene. You go, this is what the scene's about. Curiosity is what the scene's about. Your definition of curiosity is what the scene's about, in all its forms.
But the first player is not putting out intentionally a feel, but
Well, they have a feel. We see that feel. It will be reported on, right? But if you start leading the scene, for instance, then the other person is disengaged until you come to an agreement of what's happening. If you're already moving with each other, that shows agreement, even though the context hasn't emerged. We see that these people are in the same space. One of them's not just standing there watching another person. They're moving with them, they're referencing them. So we see that. And the thing is, first thing I need to do is let my player know that they're safe with me. How do I let them know they're safe? By saying what I see. You look angry, you look frustrated, you look whatever. You look, you know, whatever, doesn't matter. So you say they look bored and they go, well, I can't really connect with what I'm doing. And I'm saying that from maybe an honest player's space, right? And so that is what the scene is about not being able to connect with what you do. What does that mean when somebody says that? They can't connect. You can't engage, you can't, there's
can't
not a
find
bond.
meaning.
Huh?
Can't find meaning. I mean, you
That's
can
right.
go with that.
Or let go of your suspicion.
That's right.
Yeah.
So you take any of those, and that becomes the location. And then a part of that becomes the relationship too. And the relationship and location do not have to soothe each other. It's exciting to see people in places that we haven't seen them before. In interactions. You get an original scene. We have not. Well, who saw the brain scene before?
No.
Nobody. Who saw the border guard scene before?
No.
That's what you're looking at, the discovery. Not to do the same thing, not to do the stereotype. Someone says, okay, you guys are cops, and suddenly you just start doing what you think cop things are. It's not real even. People are people. They have some. The fact that his self-doubts were, your curiosity was, what's going to happen to you? Is someone going to get in my way? That's real. That's your reality, right? But now you've brought it into the scenario of border guards. What's going to happen if they solve the immigration problem? Are we going to have a job? I'm going to have a pension? Why are they making us do this? They just want to, they're wasting our time. They're going to solve this problem. In the meantime, we're acting like we have a future. It's a global society. What are you up to? I'm not telling you what your thing is, but it's what you really, that's when you get to explore that. And you find out the audience wants to explore that too. And the audience is thinking, God, these guys are deep and brilliant. And it's just by you saying what your truth is. I mean, I know everybody says that, but we don't understand what that means. It literally means that you're sharing your perceptions with an audience. That's literally in the guise of border guards. And you get these really beautiful scenes. The secondary thing that we haven't done is to manifest these things. So if somebody says something about me, I double down on it. So if you say that, I forget what you said about the conscience, but you gave her a read that she didn't seem confident, right? So then she will double down on it. Of course I'm not confident. Why would I be? I'm the only one here with you. There's no logic. Do you see logic anywhere? But you can enter. I mean, if you hear logic. But if you manifest logic at that point.
That's me.
You got to show why he's been absent.
Yeah. Well, I went on a holiday because it was a good time to go.
Yeah. That's logical.
Thank you.
But not helpful for her, right? This is fine. No, I'm saying that's exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
It makes me nervous when my logic goes away. Randomly, it seems random to me that he went on vacation. Seems totally random. And he'll say, no, it was the right time. You
Twice a
weren't
year.
doing anything. So then we can add to that. We manifest what we hear. If somebody says something like that, then yeah, you're going to make an entrance. Of course you are. Logic's not here. It wasn't available. Now logic probably makes the conscience nervous. For a number of reasons.
Absolutely.
There's no heart in what he does. Did he care about leaving you? Now what are the other elements in the brain? It was logic. Then she said the heart. Well, I haven't seen that for a long time.
How do you go from like, you know that she said she wants to figure things out. How do you go from there to the
Well, that was kind of a very nebulous abstract, right? And the fact that we're in her head. But yeah, we're going to get that from the players. And then we do our best to land there. That yes and part. Yes, we're in her head. You reach out and touch in her head. What did you have? Thoughts, right? So I saw the actual physical goo, right?
Yeah.
And she actually had the thought, which is a really sweet thing. And because that's there, that means these thoughts are floating around. So when those guys went out to go to the bathroom or whatever, they're in our space too. So they're random thoughts. Specifically, what was Double H doing? Grabbed sandals out of her brain. Right?
Yeah, she needs to get her shoes repaired, you see.
Huh?
She needs to get her shoes repaired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not even conscious of that. They're telling you need your shoes. Of course you're nervous. You don't know what's going on in your own brain. Who was the other person that left you left? And then he comes, and we didn't use him because I didn't give you that, you can do that, but you can't. We'd use him again, because not only did he come back, but he sat in a chair right in the center. It's like the third eye just took a seat. At that point, maybe she's getting illuminated, but she's afraid of that. It makes her nervous. I don't want to know everything. If I knew everything, I would be that would make me even more nervous. If I open up my third eye. All right, good. So,
Double H really good.
discovery,
Super.
surprise. Surprise. And you cannot, if you're plotting, inserting your story in the scene, you cannot be surprised. You only could be surprised by engaging with that other player, and they will surprise you. And then you will surprise them in your response. So play. I mean, for me, when I play, I play. I'm running around on stage. I'm playing every second of it. And I enjoy it. I play with some of the greatest improvisers ever. And it's such a delight. Because we get to have our dorm room conversation on stage in front. You know, that conversation you have in the dorm room where you're up all night drinking and you solved all the world's problems. You get to have that all the time. It's like you get invigorated because you get to do that.
I must say, one thing that keep
my brain keeps going to this sign over here that says truthful behaviour under imaginary circumstances. The
Wow.
interesting thing is though, it isn't so much. It's not imaginary, and that's where I think the whole performance acting on stage, what you're taking it back to now, is the reality
Yeah.
of the people who are there.
That's what it is. Why is Barbara Harris Barbara Harris? Why is Ryan Stiles Ryan Stiles? Why do they have a perceived style? Because they're being themselves. Being themselves. Why does Dave Pasquazi have this thing? He's being himself. He's telling us what inside. And now the guys is different. We'll do a real quick experiment. All right. Come on. Sure. Okay. So just stand there. Now this is kind of what the English do, which is perfect. Right?
British accents.
Hmm? A little bit, a little. So how did you get here today?
My husband drove me here.
You drove here, and what was your morning like before you left the house?
I got up, had coffee, and I left the house. That was it.
Okay, okay, give us some details. So tell us, got up, what kind of coffee did you have?
All right, in detail.
Yeah.
I got up, I went in the bathroom.
Whoa.
I'm not giving you detail. Walked out into the dining room, had a cup of coffee, told my son that, yeah, he needed to get himself ready because I had to come to SAS. And then the coffee wasn't that great. Actually, I don't even remember the coffee. Yeah. Then we got ourselves ready and went into the car and drove here.
Can you tell us that story again?
I probably can repeat it.
Okay, well, we repeat it, but move your feet in like this.
Okay.
No,
Apparently
me?
I'm doing yoga moves now.
It's not yoga because, I don't know. Bend your knees.
Okay, I'm doing
Keep your mouth open when you talk, but loose. Okay. Yeah, keep these arms limp. Right? Now tell us that story again. What the way you told it.
Okay.
Let's use the same words.
Okay.
And then one more thing. Keep your head down, and every once in a while look up at us and make sure we're listening.
This morning, I kind of got up, got away, went in to the bathroom, and then brushed my teeth, looked on the thing from under chair. Then I walked into the dining room, had a cup of coffee, went on that he needed to get himself ready because we needed to go to SAS. And actually, I don't really remember how the coffee page anymore. But then I got ready and went to the car and drove over here. Drove out.
Now, tell us again, and every third sentence, take a couple steps toward us.
You gotta be kidding me.
No, I'm not.
I did not realize this was so silly of all right. So this morning, I got out of it. And then I went to the bathroom, brushed my teeth, and did a couple other things, which I'm not going to share with you. And then went to the dining room and had a cup of coffee, talked to myself, told my son to get himself ready because he has to go to SAS. And actually, I don't remember what how it tastes like anymore. And then we got ourselves ready and went down to the car and he drove us down here and that was that.
Okay, good. Now, what's your name? Oh, you haven't been up. Really, right? Get up for a second. Okay, now play kinesthetically with her. You don't have to do the same physicality, but you guys are having coffee on our break at 1:30. We're gonna break, and you guys will have coffee now. But that's what's going on. And tell a different story. Tell us the proudest thing your son has ever done.
Promise me my friend really does.
Yes.
Okay. In this position.
And that
you're not
position
fine.
with your mouth kind of open.
Alright.
Well, he's defining what he sees. He sees a very old lady.
So, alright. The hardest thing my son has ever done is probably the drawing that he drew when he was around 6 or 7 years old. It's a really good comic strip. And the picture,
Make sure that guy's listening.
which guy?
The guy that's right there.
Oh, okay. Oh, and so the storyline is about a bunch of people who are playing football at a basketball court, except that these are not people, they're all like peanuts.
Make sure he's listening.
And the main story plot of the story is that a bunch of peanuts basically kicked the ball into a trash can, at which point one peanut said to the other, "Hey, what are you guys doing? You're crazy." And the peanut answers back, "Well, it's because I'm a nut."
Okay, laugh.
Laugh.
Both of you laugh. And don't stop until it's uncomfortable.
Where's your son now?
My son is at home. Actually, I think he's playing football right now.
Okay, good. Good. So for you, it's just always, in lieu of a question, make it a statement. Your son's not home. Okay, so what does that show us? For character, what does it show us?
The posture defines the character.
That's right. So you don't have to find motivation. You don't have to do all that crazy stuff that we do. How would this person do it? It's how would you do it, right? And then your body, you have your same consciousness that you carry around with you, your same intelligence, but because you're physically molding yourself into a character, you will actually start feeling like that. Neurologically, there's stuff happening there that eventually you're going to feel like this.
Yeah, I started to feel like an old person.
That's right. So you can't will yourself to that. You have to do it. All art is a physical practice. Anything. I don't care if you're working on a computer doing animation or whatever. There is a physical connection to that. There's a tactile element to it. So that's what you have to engage in as an actor. That's what you have to engage in. As a writer, you take yourself to look out that eye. They have that POV. So me being down here is already going to change the way I perceive things. And having to look up at someone when I'm there, and then laugh, and they're laughing with me. And all those things become perception things that allow you to immerse yourself into character. You don't have to work inside out. Just put it in your body. Put it in your body. Good. Now, what's this got to do with long form? Well, it's all that engagement, and the next part of it is how is using this in long form in a way that's not as rudimentary as what we've been doing. You find deeper meaning from any type of stimulus you get. You can get it from the suggestion. You can get it from your musical accompaniments. I hate to call them that because they're another player. But there's things that spark that bring you, that transport you somewhere. For me, the tool I use is music. This is the tool I use. So, how much time do we have?
Before the break, a half an hour.
Half an hour, cool. So let's get two people up there. You don't have any microphones here, do you? Sorry. We'll do this.
You want the lights up and down for these?
I don't even know where they are.
Tom, can you bring the lights down and up again?
In front of the dog.
Oh, magic. We can, let's do this on stage. That's probably good.
Yeah.
So come on down, we'll set, now what kind of chair can we use up there?
You can use them all.
Okay.
The wooden ones from over here are the nicest ones to work with, I think.
All right. I like wood. Got wood?
I had that.
Okay, now, I want you guys to be mindful of the stage that you're on. Don't drag anything. When you pick up, place down these pieces. This well-varnished stage. Oh, sorry. You can show your son that you can play an old woman when you get home.
No, it was really amazing. I was just telling him that I felt myself starting to walk a little slower, allowing him to read more. But this is the disturbing part. I felt like I was struggling to remember, like I was having memory loss issues. I really tried to remember, which is not normal because I really do.
Right. I'm telling you, that's the amazing thing about acting from the outside and building, constructing the physicality. It's way like what's his name?
Good idea.
Olivier said to Dustin Hoffman when we were doing the film Marathon. And he said, why are you, something along the lines, why are you torturing yourself? Why are you, because he's a method guy, why are you doing that? It's just act. Just act. And there is a lot, and the method for me is only for the star. You don't want the guy in the jukebox joint who's mopping the floor doing method. To be struggling to remember this thing because they're not present at that moment. They're not present. So we do
What exactly is method?
Method is going through emotional memory and things to put yourself in a state where you feel like the character should be.
So putting backstories to the character.
Not backstory.
But
Well,
what you
it's more like if you had suffered loss. Right? You're doing the same where someone close to you dies, and you have suffered loss in your life. You go back to that and dredge that up emotionally, and then that a lot of those guys are tough to work with because they're walking around the set
In that state.
right? And it's not necessary. So, all right, let's get two people up. You haven't been up. What's your name? Thank you. We have another wooden chair, we can do three.
There's
Let's let you guys pull out these chairs so you can sit and watch like a proper movie. We'll do two first and then we'll do the other. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play some music off of Trish's iPod. And you're going to listen to the song. We'll have the lights out at the beginning and we'll listen to the song. And what I want you to do is you'll want to do, okay, how about this slow? So you'll hear the song, it'll make you think of something. It could be a memory associated with the song. It could be something associated with the artist. It could be an editorial about what the song is about. That's all. So we're going to have a conceit in there. So this is where intention arises in improvisation. It's that thing that is generally true because you've been triggered into responding to it. And then the assumption always is that whatever's been put out there is there for me. It means something in connection with what my character just said. So we'll get to that in a very specific way. So let me go pick a song. Oh, you. What's that song that you love? All Can you hear it?
You got two chairs.
I think I have 3 or 4. Would you like one, Stephen? There's one at the front. Just at the front for you. Couplets. Put it at the front for a chance to see things better. That's interesting. How long was I gone? Oh, a long time. You were gone a long time. You were gone a long time.
Now I can see better.
All right.
No, I don't.
So this song's going to play for
Don't worry about
a
it.
number of measures, and then we'll either pull up the lights because we hear someone talking, or I'll pull up the lights, and either one of you give us a monologue to the audience. Tell the audience what, and you don't have to go, this song makes me think of. Skip that part and say what it makes you think of, right? Or a story related to it. Okay, go ahead. As loud as we can get it. Is that it?
Wait, maybe
My iPad's the thing about it. Oh, good. Excellent.
Boo.
In case you guys want to know, my secret code is my birth year. But I won't tell you what that is.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Can I just steal the computer? I need a new one. I like the dark. Come on.
You guys already know what it is. I'm gonna give you this.
Remember, next Wednesday is the scrotal sack rock competition. So bring in your entries on Wednesday. Rehearsal entries on the script.
Excuse me? I am the judge, yeah.
It's going to be a mark.
1, 2.
It's called Cool Jerk. Okay, now be louder, but that's perfect.
I gotta stop dating cool jerks. They suck.
Give us an example.
Well, so the last cool jerk that I dated had like this really intense energy, and he was very smart and very quick. Actually, he's quicker than he's smart. Which I read somewhere is a thing that makes people engage with you more. Charisma is about speed, not about smarts. So I think the thing about cool jerks is that they're really entertaining, and that we always want to be with them because we just want to be entertained all the time.
Good, that's good. What does that, it could be totally different. What does that song bring up for you?
The song.
Hmm?
What does the song mean?
Bring up to you.
I feel like I'm dancing.
Share your voice.
I feel like I'm dancing in a disco in the 80s or like 70s.
And tell these guys.
Maybe I'm dancing with a cool drum. And he's the one leading me and teaching me how to dance. And
So this you're imagining, right?
yeah.
Let's see if you get pull something up from your life. Do you like to dance?
Yep.
Okay, let's talk about that.
I like to dance, and I started dancing since I was 10. And I started dancing, but not with this kind of music. It's generally more classical dance, so it's very opposite from this kind of music. But I love to try all kinds of dance, and I think this might be one of the dance that I would like to do it.
So she just said that to you, really, in response to your story. So what's she trying to tell you by talking about her experience doing classical dance? She's trying to tell you something.
Does that mean you want to try new things? Yeah.
Okay, so this is a place where people try new things. Where's it? And that's your call.
So, school's nice. Yeah, you definitely do.
And your relationship is about, you have a relationship where you try new things together. Who are you? Who are people that try new things together? That's what you want.
I think we're sisters.
Well, why would this be kind of sisters, right? You try new things together. Is that what you do with your sisters?
Sometimes.
Who do you really try new things with?
Friends, boyfriends.
Okay, so let's just say that you guys are in a relationship. Okay. And where did you say you were at school? So first, someone reach out and show us that we're in school. Touch something that shows us that we're in school. Put your hand out. Oh, look at that.
This is what you are reading these days.
Yep. It's a lot of fun.
Make it something new. Look at that book. Make it something that you're trying out that's new.
It's about horses. And I'm scared of riding them, so I thought I would read about it too.
I do this Saturday.
Okay, you must share your voices. So
Sorry.
be confident. You're talking to Tom. Talk to Tom.
Okay.
So you're thinking of riding a horse?
Well, I'm thinking about it.
Okay.
It's scary. They're big.
And I'm going to feed you a line that will help you engage. Well, it's like me and you. And then fill in the blank. Say to her, it's like me and you.
It's like me and you.
Now, go on. How is being afraid to climb on a big horse like your guys' relationship?
It's like me and you. When I'm younger, Dad used to bring me to ride horse. And then it was quite expensive. So I'm his dad. And I never ever want to try to ride a horse.
So what you trying to tell me is deeper than that.
So,
In connection to guys, you guys are talking about guys, right? You were. So in connection to guys and cool jerks and stuff, what's she trying to tell you using this metaphor of falling off a horse and being afraid to get back on? What's she telling you?
I'm a little confused. Did we establish that we were friends? Is that-
No, you guys are in a relationship. You're dating.
We're dating, right,
Well, horse has got a lot to answer
I was
for.
like, wait.
So she's telling you that she used to ride horses, but she fell off and never
Yep,
did.
totally.
I'm
So,
not trying to lead you.
are you scared of us?
Make it a statement.
Oh, so you're afraid of you and me?
Yes, I'm here.
It's funny.
Oh. I'm surprised to hear that.
Are you really? What was the music she liked?
The dancing music.
Classical music.
I guess we're quite different, maybe.
I think so. But do you think we can do something to change?
I would like to try.
Shall we try to write the house together?
Metaphorically speaking.
All right, good. We'll just stop there. All right. Now, if you just let yourself play with that, you make discoveries. It's not, the fear is the unknown, right? But that's part of being an artist, is being able to tolerate what you don't know. And especially in improv, you don't know anything. You know nothing, Jon Snow. It's just, and so you're making the discoveries based on what's said. So there was already a difference. You dated cool jerks, right? And you're done with that. And she had a more classical thing. So if you were to think about a classical relationship, who was she used to dating before? I mean, tell me.
Clean people.
Good, all right. So that's all you do is so that you're telling me that you dated a higher class of people than the jerks I went out with. But here you are. Now look at the irony of that. You guys are having a relationship. You because the people were total jerks. And she left the classical dating. So that's what you have in common, is that your relationships didn't work out on either end. So you sought out each other. Sometimes opposites attract, but she's saying you have no future. And live with that. And then metaphorically, yes, we get this kind of picture of trying to try a relationship again, where the two of you are with one person. So that's real life. That's stuff that happens. It's discovery. It's not something you own as a person. It's something that you discovered in playing along the lines of what you heard and who your characters are. So you want to, in a sense, you want to deepen the meaning and not make them small. Like first you said you were sisters, right? But you want something that fits within the abstract. And somebody out here thought it was lovers, right? But it's not necessarily that. Try things new. Who are people who try new things?
Scientists. Scientists.
Scientists.
People who are at a crossroads.
Yes, right. So you can identify that either way. And in that sense, you guys have been placed together at school because you're both people having trouble with relationships. Right? So that's why you want to deepen it, so that you don't, because then we have to jump through hoops to see why sisters are having this problem. Or this. Do you guys, what do you think? We're going to move further down this road. You have to remember this scene. You have to remember lines that were said in this scene. What's a line from the scene that you remember? What? So somewhere, if you're on stage or somebody else is on stage in a different scene, you're going to use that term metaphorically. Anything else?
Let's ride a horse together.
So some other scene could be two guys in a bar, two union guys in a bar, and one of them says, let's ride a horse. So come on down. Let's clap. And let's get two more people up. So we're going to do the same thing with a different song. And but what I want you guys to do, besides breaking open your scene, finding your scene, is to remember something from the scene before that you can just drop in arbitrarily. Could be a line, could be a movement. We didn't do much moving, but that's because whatever. So you can move into, I think what we should do is move into kinesthetic motion after the monologues are complete. And then we can use that also to discover. What you think? Okay, I'm going to choose this one. All right.
Down here the river meets the sea. In the sticky heat I feel you open up to me. Love comes out of nowhere, baby, just like a hurricane, and it feels like rain.
Feels like old time. Strolling by the river. Us, old house.
Okay, so don't invent right now. Memory is stronger than invention. So memory-wise, what does this make you think? It's either something that happened to you or an editorial about these kind of songs or the river, right? So that's your monologue to these guys. It's not connected with relationship yet. It's an assumption we wait for.
There's once when I was walking by the river, depressed, tune in my mind. I wish I wasn't there alone. It's depressing. Being alone, walking by the river, no one to talk to. And I'm just there, just there. Me, myself, and I.
Good. Your thing is different from his, whatever that song means to you or the setting is.
The song ended with, it feels like rain. And it just reminds me of how, when I was in college, with my then boyfriend, we ran to get something and it started raining, and then we were running in the rain. And to me, that rain was a celebration. How it felt.
Okay, what's she trying to, now let's get up for a minute, or just play kinesthetically from there. And what she's trying to tell you something about you're walking around in the rain by telling you that story. So what's she trying to tell you? And you can start with, I guess what you're trying to tell me is.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
At the back, I didn't hear what you were saying about the celebration.
Okay, go ahead, say it louder.
It just reminds me of a time in college when I went out to get something done with my then boyfriend, and then it started raining, and it was just a joyous moment for me. Just feel like a celebration of how I was feeling at that time.
So what you telling me?
So what you're telling me is, you don't have to feel lonely. Sometimes memories bring us back to happy moments. We don't have to think that we're alone, even though we are. If I could even imagine myself and putting myself in your memory, it could actually be a happy moment.
This is a place of happy moments. Where's that place?
High school reunion. High school
Okay,
reunion.
tell them that.
Yeah, it's great to be at a high school reunion, don't you think?
Reach out and touch something that
It's
shows
great
us.
to be at a high school reunion.
Oh yes, it's been so long ago, but the memories were just totally enjoyable.
Yeah, and these college colors, they just,
Good.
every time I see it, it's just so many great memories.
Yeah, I'm getting flashbacks now. This is great. Wow. I miss that.
Yeah, you guys have a relationship of happy memories. Now, I know you're fellow students, but what's that relationship? They're memories, they're past, but what's the relationship?
We went to college together.
Is that happy? What you described as happy?
That we have a happy relationship.
Yeah. And now he's alone. So you make him that, you can go ahead and make him, not that him, the guy that you ran in the rain with, but the guy that you were with after him.
So you're the guy I was with later.
Or later, either one.
Or a friend I shared the stories with.
What?
Can he be a friend I shared a memory with?
Yeah, he can be your best friend
Right.
too. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Just you had a happy relationship.
And wasn't it fun sitting behind the chapel, drinking and smoking? That was great.
I know there were no rules, there were no worries. Yeah, we were just conquering the world,
Yeah.
born to be free.
Yeah. I mean, now you seem like you're drifting off to a sad place, is it? A sad place.
Well, I forgot what it was before. Leaving our old place, living college, living the barn, and we used to ride one horse.
Metaphorically, yes.
That was a wooden horse. Because I was too heavy. But it was fun. We had laughter.
Yeah.
We enjoyed that. Oh my God, I miss that
The
moment.
theater bunch was so much fun.
I know, with everybody watching us, think of what we're going to say next.
I might even have a picture of you on that horse.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Was I?
Dig in your wallet and get it.
I have a picture.
Yeah, that's what you said.
I love.
Oh my.
You're gonna love this.
Now you tell her what's on the picture.
Oh my God. That's not me.
It's totally you.
I was actually quite handsome.
Yeah. You gained some weight, huh?
A little bit.
I mean, you're still kind of handsome in the George Clooney kind of way.
Yeah, time weathered me well.
I would say that too.
So, how do you just stay so happy?
I don't know.
Well, now read her right now, because it's her demeanor.
Yeah.
Read her right now. What's her demeanor?
I mean, therapy, I guess.
Well, you don't really look that happy. I'm saying, perhaps there's something else bothering you. Are you trying to hide something? You go therapy?
I'm not trying to hide anything. I'm trying to get it all out. But I guess it's just all very disillusioning. Life is just like.
You really need to let it go. I mean, I could be your listening ear. No, I mean,
I mean, how long is this reunion, huh? Do I have a few hours?
It's gonna be, I don't know, whoever decides it.
Yeah, just like old times, yeah?
Just like old
Share the
times.
shit.
Share the shit. I mean, tell me.
Metaphorically,
Of course, whatever you want to say.
Yeah. You know, you go through life, you get a divorce, kids are pounds. Religion is just doesn't make any sense anymore. No?
No, I hear you. I can't actually feel you, but and I've often wondered how was it like, being married, being divorced, having kids. I'm always walking by the river alone.
Yeah, sometimes it's nice to be alone. The worst thing about marriage is there's always somebody there. All the time.
Huh.
Yeah.
Like, tell me.
Just
tell
like
me
they're
more.
there when you wake up, they're there when you go to sleep, and sometimes they're not even fun to be with. Grumpy.
So what you're telling me is you may not be alone, but you feel alone.
Yes.
And then when you feel alone, you feel noisy.
Yeah. I mean, what?
And you feel like you're not alone.
I mean, I envy you, kind of. You know, sometimes it's just nice to be alone, walking by the river, listening to some song.
No, I'm just a constant. You know, I'm just me, listening to songs. Now, you used to have a few of us on the horse. Now it's just me alone on the horse.
So you're saying it's boring, or it's just sad, or it's just dull for you?
But what I'm trying to say is, it's just unspectacular. It's just a constant. I almost feel like I'm in a constant flatliner. I mean, I'd rather not be alive because I feel nothing.
Oh, boy, sounds like it will change that, huh?
I need a religion or something.
Or we just go on a trip, you know, just get some of us together, throw it out there, maybe 5 people will come and, you know, go to the mountains or something.
That's a good idea. I mean, help me out. I mean, bring your family.
I know, your
No?
family. I know.
No?
Just us, you know, and then some friends.
Well,
Somebody to walk with for you, someone to get away from you.
that's an idea.
Mhm.
Yep, I was expecting more like a few more people. Just 2 doesn't make a crowd.
Is that how he started to sing? What did he say? What was his monologue?
Yeah, he walked by the river, walking around the river.
And now, what does he say?
He said he was walking around to many people.
He said, what about just us?
Yeah, I said we could go too. I guess I'm saying, you know, just the 2 of us could sit down and have a nice time.
I'm feeling something different right now.
It's a very nice scene. Very interesting scene about a woman that was very happy with her memory of her relationship. Now she's got a family and a husband, and she's at the reunion, and it doesn't do it for her. And he has this thing about being constantly alone, even though these guys were best friends at some point. So if you look at the pattern, what's the pattern with her and you? Yeah, but what's the pattern? What's she doing in the scene?
She's trying to get closer?
Yes. Yeah. So those things that you sense, you can actually do it physically. Right? You just move your chair a little closer, a little bit at a time. You'll get a bunch of laughs. Every incremental thing you do there. Right? And she's sort of saying, I'll walk with you. You say, well, you bring the family. So no. Right? So that's the pattern and the pattern recognition. What you start doing, as opposed to being polite and trying to ask questions that lead you there, make statements that put you there. Very sweet scene and funny. It'll be funnier when you guys are a little braver about your attack on it. Here's another trick. It's not a trick. 2 things. I said this one earlier. It's like me and you. We liked each other. We had fun together. We never got together. But there's a full house. We used to say that you're lonely, and I'm just walking down by the river. You know, that's the like me and you. So I don't know what that means. I'm just going to go along, but it could be that she's the river you're walking next to. Right? It's there, you love it, right? But you're not connected. So that's what you've always wanted. And another thing is the whole world's this way. People get together in life, they have great times, and then something happens. They graduate, and they have separate lives, and they can't get back together. They can't go back to the past and bring that moment back. The horse thing, great call. Great call. What else was the other one? You have one. What?
Metaphorically, yes.
Yeah. So if every once in a while you just said metaphorically, you get a huge laugh. And then he would have that response to, well, I think I mean it. I think it's more than a metaphor. And then you play that. But it's a very sweet scene. Confidence. Shoot for the back of the house. That guy's got to hear you. Whoever's on the back wall has to hear you. Right? Do you feel like you did a good scene? Yes, you did. And you can do that all the time. To have that bravery with each other. You guys know each other, you play together all the time, right?
Getting there.
How did it feel? How did it feel? How did it feel?
To do that.
How did it feel?
Good start. Okay. Wow. How does it feel? It feels leaning on your chair.
Metaphorically. Use everything. Okay, so let's break for lunch, yeah?
Okay, great.
Okay, so